I'm Drew Bagget. I'm from St. Augustine, Florida. Grew up on St. Simon's Island, Georgia. That's where I started building boards, and this is what I do, I build surfboards. It's really a hands-on thing. I like building stuff with my hands, and I like experimenting. I like trying new matrices and new combinations and materials to try to come up with something that no one's done before and looks really cool and most importantly works really well. Well, we were building boards with carbon rails and bamboo decks, and they were really stiff. You know, for guys under maybe 150, 175 pounds, the boards were too stiff. So I needed to come up with a compression layer that wasn't bamboo and wasn't going to add any stiffness, but was still going to give me compression strength and everything I needed out of the bagging process. A rep for the Cork company came by my shop and brought some cork for me to sample out, and as soon as he walked in the door with it, I just knew it was, you know, the dream material. You know, no one had ever thought of using cork before, and it comes from Portugal. It's an eco-sustainable product. You know, they never even kill the trees. They just shave the bark off every 8 years, and they make this product. The company's 450 years old. It's like the great-great-great-grandson of the founders is still running the company, and he surfs, you know, and so it's been pretty cool. I hooked up with Cork and at Amarim and build a bunch of boards for those guys in Portugal and build some for them to show, and then it just moved into me being the distributor for the Cork product here in the States. You know, the first board that came out, it came out perfect. It was everything I wanted. It's a flex neutral product, so it didn't make the boards any stiffer, but it still made the deck stronger. EPS, which is expanded polystyrene, is the foam that we use. We start with huge blocks, and then I hot wire out rockers, and that's like making a blank, like what Clark foam used to make. And then we take the blanks and we either shape them by hand with planers and sanders and hand shaping, or we take them to a machine down in New Smyrna that cuts them, you know, to all the CAD, computer automated designs. And either way, after it's shaped, the first thing we do is we glass a layer on the deck, and this stiffens the board up and makes it so we know it's waterproof. And then we put carbon fiber frames on the boards. We use a braided carbon fiber. It's really expensive. It's actually aircraft grade, but it gives us the right flex and stiffness in the board. And so what we've done is we've moved the stiffness from the center of the board, like a traditional center stringer board where you're really standing on an I-beam, and we move all that stiffness out to the rails. So now you can flex the center of the board out, and we get a return on the energy that we put into the flex. Then after we put the carbon on, we grind it down. There's some prep steps that are kind of top secret, and basically vacuum bag the cork, the layer of cork, onto the board at that point. And so the cork has little porous in between each cork cell, and the resin comes through the cork in the vacuum bag process. Then I sand the layer back off to leave the cork exposed. At that point, basically I've done all my high-tech secret kind of stuff, you know, and then it's like I made a really nice blank and we glass it like a regular surfboard.
Drew's kind of an amazing shaper, and he's been innovating surfboards for a long time, and now he's got something special, you know. Corkboard's sick, you know. Once people figure out how sick they are, it'll catch on and everybody will want one.
The thing with building cork boards is that, you know, even after the first board I did, I knew that it was real easy to screw it up. So what I did, you know, almost immediately was filed for a patent. And just on Christmas, my patent just came through for the cork surfboard. So it's a design patent. You can't have a board that even looks like cork on the deck without going through here. So what I do is I can make sure guys are using cork and not some cheap floor underlayment from Home Depot. You know, it's a totally different product. So the feel of the board, you know, I always had a hard time describing how it felt when you're standing on it. It's kind of like a really hard blown up football. You know, it's in between a soft top and what you're used to. But I think Biolas named it, you know, the best I'd heard so far. He said it feels like wearing flip-flops after going barefoot all your life. And I think that's exactly the feel of the, you know, they're soft. It's got a real soft, forgiving feel. You know, it's just something unique, and it rides really, really good. The deal with Lost is pretty cool because I get to build boards for a lot of the top athletes, you know, and Mason Ho and Chloe Andino are definitely two of my favorite surfers now, and got to build them some boards, and you know, they like them, so we'll be doing more. But the Lost thing's opening it up to boards going to Japan and Australia, and a couple of these customs are going to the UK, and it's really, really cool to work for those guys. I've been all over the state 100 times, selling boards from Jacksonville all the way around, all the way to Pensacola and back, and St. Augustine's definitely really special, my favorite part of Florida. I love surfing here, I love fishing here, I love taking my boat and jumping off it and going surfing, and there's just something in the town, having a small town feel where, you can't even go to Publix without knowing 3 or 4 people, and I love the small town feel of St. Augustine. I'll never leave. As for me, for building surfboards, it just becomes my release and like my surfing. I think there's a lot of shapers that feel that even if you're dry for a little while and you haven't surfed much, but you get in here every day and you make surfboards and you know that somebody's going to go out and have, a killer time riding these boards, and it's kind of your fix. It's self-satisfying. Every board is you get in here and at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, I built something, or I got some work done, and I never leave thinking that I didn't get anything accomplished in a day. So it's really gratifying job. I love it.